Welcome to Self-Helpful. I'm your guide, Kevin Miller, and I curate the sea of new personal development messages to bring the most influential leaders onto this show. Join me as I question my guests to better understand their counsel so we can all integrate the wisdom into our lives, because we all want to elevate our own experience and improve the way we show up for others. The Self-Helpful podcast is presented by Ziglar, your premier source for equipping coaches. Visit Ziglar.com. Hello, Self-Helpful listeners. In this episode, how to eliminate failure in your life when you understand the goal behind the goal. This is part 4 in my series on the art of trying, and my muse has been Hala Taha. She's host of the top-ranked business podcast, Young and Profiting, and she's founder and CEO of Yap Media. And talking with Hala about her trajectory of trying different things on the way to what worked for her overall goal has just been really eye-opening. When we understand that our goal is bigger than any one role or face value achievement, it takes the pressure off and greatly broadens the different methods we can try. And if one method doesn't work, it's okay. We know the bigger, greater goal, and we can attempt it through another means and method, and quite literally make failure near impossible. I don't mean to minimize that at all. So let's talk through this briefly together. You can again find Hala wherever you listen to your podcast at Young and Profiting, and you can find her on social media at Yap with Hala. You can also watch this show in entirety on YouTube. Just search for Self-Helpful with Kevin Miller. How to eliminate failure in your life when you understand the goal behind the goal. Here's an analogy for you. As I sit here and podcast from my studio high up in the Rocky Mountains, I live in the shadow, literally, of Pikes Peak, named after American Brigadier General and explorer Zebulon Montgomery Pike. So it's reported that he wanted to get on top of this mountain he saw. They called it at the time Tava. And he wanted to get on top to view the surrounding area, to record it on maps. Okay, look right there. The goal wasn't, I want to climb that mountain. It was, I want to record the area on some maps around here. That looks like a good vantage point. So first attempt, he didn't make it. Word is he gave up on the ascent because of waist deep snow. So down he went. Failure? Well, not really. He tried one way. Now he can look at other paths, other sides of the mountain. He can think about, maybe I should wait a month before or while the snow melts off and do that. Or it's actually pondered that he might have been able to do it from a neighboring mountain a little bit smaller. Again, the goal was to map the surrounding areas. It wasn't just this one way to do it. If he had said, I want to go up that mountain, I want to peak today, no questions about it. Got to be today, got to be that mountain, got to be this side, this path right here, right now. And he got into waist deep snow and didn't make it. Then boom, failure. That's it. But there was a goal underneath that goal. That's what we're talking about with this art of trying. What it requires us really to do is question our goals. We usually take our goals and we pin them on one role, one achievement, one path, one trajectory. And we go all, and we think I got to go all in. I got to, burn the bridges and go all in. And then if we don't do it, we fail. And it does feel like failure. I mean, that's really hard to deal with. So this aspect is not just to avoid failure. It's also to be realistic about what is it that you really want. So let's go to my muse, Hala Taha. That's why I had her on the show. Her father was in Palestine, a poor farmer, and he wanted to change his stars, as the movie A Knight's Tale talks about, one of my favorite movies. He wanted to change his stars. Came over to America, he tried this, he tried that, and he succeeded and changed the stars for his family. Hala saw that, and she wanted to honor that. She felt like I've been given such privilege. He's made such sacrifice to do this. I want to honor him and honor the opportunity that I now have to do so many different things. Her siblings went the route of medical professions, doctors. And she looked at that. It wasn't really her cup of tea. And she was really interested in the entertainment industry. Now, what if she had set herself up for failure and said, okay, I want to go in the entertainment industry, got to be an actress. End of story. That's it. Got to be on the big screen, Hollywood starlet, right? If she didn't make that, she would have failed. But that was just one role. She could have tried that, but she knew it was a bigger issue. She wanted to have a successful business and have financial abundance. And she wanted to do it in an arena of entertainment. And ultimately, as she started getting into it, she realized she wanted to influence people for the better. It wasn't just about being famous. She wanted to influence people. And so she went in and she tried radio. Had some success, dropped out of college. Ultimately, that's not the path that seemed to be working. So she went after an entertainment news blog. Had some success, but then the blog industry kind of pittered out. And so she went on and tried the next thing, reality TV show. Almost got picked up by MTV, but didn't. Then she went back to school, got her MBA, took that one in the corporate world, corporate marketing. Had success there, but wasn't feeling it. So she went into social media as a kind of a side hustle, and then got into podcasting and really found a niche that brought a lot of that experience together and found success. And today she's killing it in this arena. Who knows where it'll take her, but you can see all the things she tried for that bigger goal. And so was each of those some gigantic failure? Not minimizing it. It's not that it wasn't a bummer. She invested time and money and effort into that, but it didn't devastate her and take her out. That's what we see with failure when we pin everything on one methodology, right? So she now has financial abundance. She now has some success and celebrity status. She's influencing people for the better. And again, one of the reasons I brought her on, or a primary reason I brought her on, is she's not even using it just for business influence. She's having a lot of self-help people on the show and helping people increase their lives professionally and personally. What a greater thing than if she had put it on, again, one role or methodology. We tend to do that when we look at things like, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a pro basketball player. Okay, why? Why? What is it about that? We have that with a lot of people who want to start a business. I want to start a business. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to be self-employed. Why? I used to help people with that. I would look at them, look at their personal propensities, predispositions, skills, experience, gifts, talents, whatever you want to call that, knacks. And we look at that, they're just their personal interest, and go, okay, what's a viable opportunity out of this that we could go after? And what's then something that fits the marketplace? Can we put a brand and around this product or around the surface and make something happen? Not to minimize it, but generally, yeah, we can. And yet so often I'd find, man, there's personal reasons behind that. Let's get into that and ask about what those are. And you find things like, well, I want time availability to be flexible time for my family. Okay. I want autonomy so I can really create something freely and I'm not bound by anyone else. Okay. I want to be my own boss. I don't like having a boss. I really struggle with management and stuff. Okay. I want to be free of bureaucracy, in the business. I really just want the freedom to pursue this idea or product or service that I want to happen. Okay. And what is it underneath that? And it's usually something they want to impart to people. I want to give people this product. I want them to benefit from it, enjoy it. I want them to get the benefit that I've got out of it. I want them to have this service, this experience that I have had. Okay. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at all those things. Is that only available through self-employment, through starting a business? Probably not the only availability. Let's put that on the list. And let's look at some other ways that you can do that. Can you partner with somebody that already exists, or partner with somebody to do something new? Can you collaborate with something that's already in existence? Can you maybe even find the ability to do that within just the right company that would allow you to do that? What are the different methods that you could achieve this in, and broaden out between I'm going to do this, and it has to be through starting this specific business or my own business. Again, I love business. I love being self-employed. I relate to all those types of goals. But ultimately, it's not the only opportunity. If you look at, I do a lot in health and wellness. A lot of people have had a great experience in going from unhealth to health, from feeling bad, poorly, to feeling good. And they want to share that with people. It's exciting. They want them to experience that form of freedom and capacity and capability. And so, or, maybe they lost a bunch of weight or whatever it is. They changed how they look and how they feel about themselves. And I'll never forget a guy who had such an experience. And he says, yeah, but my gosh, I'm never going to be able to do that because I can never afford my own gym. I thought, really? That's the only way you see this happening is through having your own gym? That's biting off a lot. What are some other things you could do? Let's put that on the list. That's one way. What are some other things? Could you work at an existing gym as a personal trainer, kind of get your feet wet, see what it's about, see what that entails? You could be a personal coach. I said, man, I've seen a lot of people work in the nutritional supplement industry, vitamins and whatnot, and they're really involved in that arena, but they're not doing it through a gym or even through coaching people. It's a different methodology. Or maybe people who are involved with, I know some who just love the products around health and wellness, cool t-shirts or weights and running shoes or whatever, or just helping people, inspire people who are trying to go after their health and wellness. And they realize that it's an internal mental game and you want to work just in inspiring them. You sure don't need a gym to do that. Again, we're looking at different methods for the overall goal. And the overall goal is they want people to experience feeling good about themselves. Okay, man, there's lots of ways to do that. Let's list them out and see what's the best one for you to try first. It's the lowest hanging fruit. And I'm not minimizing that you go in and have some commitment to that. But the biggest commitment, the thing you might burn the bridges and go after, is that big goal. And I say big overarching like an umbrella, or you could say it's the root cause, the root issue down here, the root desire, the root goal. That's what you're wanting to go after. Figure that out. What it takes us to do is to really question the why, the what we want and the why, which is, for shameless self-promotion, that's the topic of my book. What drives you? It's to discern, go into different areas of your life and discern what is it that you want. Vocation is one. I've used that as a muse here, so we can talk about that. What is it that you're wanting to achieve? What do you want to impart to people? When it comes down to it with our work, generally we want money. Okay, so that's fair. We want money. But if you give somebody all the money in the world and they have to work every day, they generally come down to, I want to impart something to people. I want them to experience something. I want them to benefit from something. I want to give them meaning in this way through work. Okay, figure that out. If you do that, you should be able to list out, that'd be a good exercise, 5 ways that you could do that. 5 different industries, jobs, whatever. You really should be able to list out 25, if not more of those. And then you're going to find some of those and go, okay, that's viable, but I don't want to do that, man. And then you go into, what does that really entail? What's the lifestyle look like? And that's a vocational discussion we can have at another time. But to look at ultimately, what is the goal? What are my values that I want to achieve through this? Those are the undergirding things that we're going to commit to. But the way that we do that, man, there's a lot of things that we can try. Imagine saying, I want to help people have an experience of wellness. I want to help them go from feeling poorly, literally feeling bad internally and whatnot, and feeling bad about themselves or self-image, whatever it may be. And I want to help them achieve this goal. And so I'm thinking about going to med school. I really am. I want to see if I can really do that. That's a method to try. I'm going to go after that. Maybe I won't get into med school. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. And if that doesn't, then I'm thinking about getting involved with a gym or a health and wellness, company. Maybe I could work for a doctor in some capacity. Maybe I could, like I talked about, go into the supplement arena or into the inspiration thing. So there's a lot of things I'm going to try, but I'm committed. Imagine going to your family, to your spouse, to your family, to your friends with that. I feel committed to go after health and wellness and helping people with that. That's what I'm committed to. Nobody's going to go, well, that's stupid. There's no opportunity in that. You can list them out, show them I could be a doctor, I could be this. These are all the things I could try. I'm going to look at that and consider that. Maybe you can even help me look at that and see what makes sense. If you value, if you think that they have the ability to see that unbiasedly, whatnot, but you may say, hey, I'm going to go get a career coach and have them help me work through this. Man, doesn't that take the pressure off? As opposed to saying, well, I want to help people be well. I have to be a doctor. I recently had Jordan Grummett on the show. He's a doctor, ended up being a palliative care doctor. But initially he's, I think, 7 years old or 11 years old. His dad's a doctor. His dad dies. And in his, again, I think it was 7 years old or 7 or 11, sticks out at one of those ages. His mind made up, it's my fault. It's my fault that my dad died. And to rectify that, I have to become a doctor. There was no why behind the why. Again, he put it on one thing. Now, he did actually become a doctor. So he didn't fail and become a doctor. He failed in finding something he actually liked because he became a doctor and he didn't like it. That's really disappointing after that much time and investment. So what if that, one, you go after something, it doesn't happen, or you go after it, it does happen, you find out it's not the something that I wanted. We're suffering both ways from not really understanding the core thing down here. And in Jordan's case, he ultimately went into finance. He became a palliative care doctor, but he also really got involved in finances and helping people in the way that he wanted to influence them. Well, how much better possibly if he had understood the breadth of what his ultimate goal under the goal really was. That's the hope that we can have as we question our goal. Take the thing that you think you want and really question it and say, okay, I think I want this. Why? Or that I want to do this or achieve this. Why? What's under that? What does it mean to you? And for most people, it's going to come down to, all of us want to take care of ourselves, and I want money and whatnot. And I'm not against having status and some credibility and acclaim out there. But at the end of the day, anybody, especially those who are making decent money, they really then come to, I want to help people. I want to impart something to them. I want to help them experience something. What is that? And why does that make you feel good? I know people who serve people in lots of ways that I would never say is bad or wrong. It's awesome. Doesn't speak to me. I don't know. I'm just not wired that way. I don't have to justify it or make excuses for it. I want to help people in this certain way. Right now, I am doing what I have always done, and I have the great privilege and joy and influencing people and inspiring them. That's what I like to do. It's fully as selfish as if I was racing my bike. I think Anthony DeMello, one of my favorite authors, would say it's a more evolved selfishness because I'm serving other people in a good way as opposed to just racing my bike. Nothing against that. It was fun and it helped prepare me for some other things. But I am doing this through podcasting right now and authoring. If podcasting goes away, I've got other ways. I can speak. I can present. Or I could go align myself with somebody else who's on stage and try to influence them, partner with them and provide things to them so that they can go do that. So many different ways that I could take what's at the core of what I want to do and provide it. So along the way, I can try lots of things. If that methodology doesn't work, like Zebulon Pike, I can try another path, try another day, or see if I can get the thing accomplished through something that I didn't initially see. At first, I thought I needed to get that mountain. Now I realize, you know what? I think I could get this done from another mountain over there. Or today, he could say, I could get it done through a plane or a drone or something of that nature. So this is a great opportunity to get freedom from the pressure of that one thing that you think you got to do. Get down under it, figure out why. My book, What Drives You, is a great way to do that. Thank you to Hala Taha for sharing her story, her insight, her heart into this aspect of the art of trying. You can find her podcast right now, wherever you're listening to this, at Young and Profiting. And you can find her on social media at yapwithhala. Thanks also to Renee Marino, Broadway star and film star and author of Becoming a Master Communicator, for joining me in the previous episode, part 3 of the series, to bring added insight into this discussion. Friends, thank you for tuning into Self-Helpful, where I curate the sea of new personal development materials and help you integrate wisdom into your life, because we all want to elevate our own experience and improve the way we show up for others.